Hi there, and thanks for joining me. In this video, we're going to finish up with Revit's user interface. The last two parts of the user interface are the view control bar and the status bar. The view control bar does pretty much what the title says it does. It controls aspects of the view. Each icon controls a different area of the view. Here, you can change the scale of the view. You can also customize the scale if you don't see what you want. There are 3 detail levels, and each one displays elements a little bit differently. Coarse is the least detailed, and it shows duct and pipe as single lines. Notice fittings are represented as 2-dimensional at coarse detail level. Now, elements will appear more realistic in the view as you move from coarse to fine. The visual style function provides a number of different graphic styles for the view. So however you want to display the view will depend on which visual style you choose. I'll just pick a couple different ones here so you can see the differences. Now, you can also access the graphic display options from here to further refine the visual styles you choose. Turning the sun path on, along with shadows, provides a way to study how the path of the sun might affect your design. Now, accurately locating your building provides a more realistic display of shadows, which provides design opportunities. Now, this functionality is rarely, if ever, used in Revit MEP, but the settings provides you with several presets, as well as the option to customize the date and time you want to study. Another function of the view control bar rarely, if ever, used is rendering. Although this functionality is used quite extensively in architectural design, most engineers don't find it very useful. The crop region defines the boundaries of the view. Cropping the view allows you to create views which focus in on specific areas of your design. Now, remember, you're viewing the same elements in all views, so to focus in on different areas, you basically create new views and adjust the crop as needed. The visibility of the crop is controlled here. In order to annotate a 3D view, you first have to lock it. Now, you can't lock the default 3D view, so you have to create one first. Now, once you've saved that view, you can add text, tags, and dimensions to enhance the view for documentation. Now, I'm seeing more and more of these 3D views in documentation for referencing complicated conditions. I find this next feature extremely useful when I want to work on a specific element or category. I'm going to select an element, then click the temporary hide isolate button. You can choose to temporarily hide or isolate either the category or the element in the view. Notice the cyan border that appears around the edge of the drawing. This is a visual clue that this is a temporary condition. To reset the view, click the button again and choose Reset Temporary Hide Isolate from the menu. Now, if you decide you want to permanently hide this element, choose the Apply Hide Isolate to View option from the menu. Hidden elements and categories are temporarily revealed by clicking the little light bulb or the Reveal Hidden Elements button. This places a magenta border around the inside edge of the drawing area, and everything hidden in the view takes on this color as well. Now, you unhide elements and categories by selecting the element, then either clicking the Unhide Element button from the ribbon or right-clicking the element and choosing Unhide in View Elements. Clicking the light bulb again will reset the view. Work sharing display is only available when work sharing is enabled. There's tons of useful information you can get from this feature. Clicking on the worksets mode displays a different color for each workset that's being assigned to elements in this view. Now, if I select the owner's mode from the list, you'll notice nothing is colored. Well, that's because no one owns anything yet. So if I zoom in here and then click the Make Element Editable icon, you'll notice the element turns a bright yellowish green color. Now, the settings provide color coding for each of the modes listed. The colors are editable, so you can make them any color you want. You could actually have an office standard so it's consistent from model to model. Now, hovering my mouse over an element will display some very useful information. It tells me what it is, who currently owns it, who created it, and when it was last updated. Also, notice the orange border around the edge of the drawing area. Starting to see a pattern here? Yeah, I thought so. Now clicking the button again resets the view. View templates are a collection of view properties that can be applied to multiple views. The View Template dialog is accessible from the View Properties palette. Graphic overrides are set and applied through the dialog, then assigned to specific views. The Temporary View Properties button provides you with the ability to temporarily override the view template if one has been applied to the view. Now, my firm has a number of standard view templates we use for most of our views, so I use this tool a lot when I'm working. It allows me to get into the view, check whatever I need to, then when I'm done, just restore the view properties to reset the view. Now the settings for this view are back and it's like I was never even there. Displacing elements produces an exploded view look in 3D views. Now we're seeing a lot more documents with this type of reference because it can tell the contractor a lot about how the designer intends his design to look. Now the Highlight Displacement Sets mode highlights all the displacement sets in the view so you understand why that air handling unit is 40 feet in the air. Sometimes we have to constrain things in the model. Maybe we need two elements to be a fixed distance apart. Most of the time, the dimension providing the constraint is hidden because it's not relevant to the documentation. The Reveal Constraints mode shows me all the constraints in the view. This temporary mode provides us with a red border around the drawing area. We've discussed work sets a little, and you'll hear more about them as the course progresses. This is the work sets dialog where you manage the work sets. Elements are placed on the active work set, which is displayed here. Clicking the arrow here allows you to switch between all the work sets. Design options allow you to explore multiple designs within the same model. Team members can work on alternate designs while others continue with the main model. Design options are intended to be for focused areas of the building. Okay, these last icons here are filter selection. Now they prevent or allow selection of certain things in the view. For example, if I want to select pinned elements, well, I have to make sure this one doesn't have a red X over it. So there are a number of these, but the one that I make sure I have on is the last one. It's the click and drag filter. We have this one off in our firm because it's easy to select things in the background in certain views and accidentally move them. Now, turning it off requires you to select the element first, then move it. Now, the last one is the filter button. It will show you how many elements have been selected, and if you click on the dialog, it'll show you the categories of the elements you have selected along with the count. This comes in extremely handy if you're selecting a bunch of stuff and you need to narrow it down.
All right, we covered a lot of ground in those 3 video clips. Now don't worry if you didn't catch everything. It takes a while to familiarize yourself with the user interface, even if someone is teaching you. Now throughout the rest of the course, we're going to become very familiar with the user interface. Now in the next video, we're going to start a project from scratch, so you're going to want to join me for that. Thanks for watching.